Hello, this is Jokina with Modern Homemakers, and today I'm going to show you how to make an easy, I don't really have time pinata. We're not going to use paper mache, although I love paper mache. I don't have time or room to make the mess right now. My kid's birthday is coming really fast. So what we need is a small box, tissue paper. I printed off a fun personalized image that matches our Power Rangers birthday theme. You don't even have to have an image, you could just cover the whole pinata. Masking tape, glue sticks, candy, I did predominantly candy and toys here, and yarn or string of some sort. So the first thing we're going to do is, because we don't want to make this too hard since it's not paper mache, is we're going to cut out some extra flaps. So like in here, ooh, they're even glued. Thanks a lot, Amazon. Anyway, in here we see we've got glued down flaps even. They don't want this box to go anywhere. So I'm going to open this up. Now the reason I'm doing masking tape is because it's more brittle, it's not as strong. Packing tape or duct tape or anything like that, it's going to be too strong. I mean, you don't want the kids crying because they can't open their box, and cardboard is already a harder material than paper mache. We don't want any extra layers. So these are the shorter flaps that make the box sturdier, and we don't want a sturdy box right now. So if you can see, cutting that out, it could still close, no extra flaps. And we're going to do the same thing on the top. And the last one. Pinatas can cost like 30 bucks, and I'm still confused as to whether or not you still have to add your own candy. I kind of gave up because it was out of my price range. This whole thing you could easily do for under $5. So, and I lied to my daughter. She said she wanted a pinata, and I said, no, it's too expensive. And then I decided I would sneak one in. Okay, so you've got the extra flaps cut off, and now we're going to do one side. And my masking tape is probably like 20 years old, so it's brittle. And we're going to just, don't make this Fort Knox. You want this thing to bust open when the time comes. Okay, so we're just doing the one side, because we got to put the candy in there, and that's going to be quite the disappointment when they bust that baby open. Okay, so we've got one side with masking tape, and then I'm going to turn, and you'll see that this side can still open. While this can still open, please don't injure yourself, but we're going to put a couple holes, kind of support it, because we've made this not very strong, in the top. And that's where we're going to put in our string, so we can hang it from something. Some people are really mean. They pull the string and they move the pinata while you're trying to hit it. I'm not going to do that. That's a kid's birthday party. So this is your chance to put in whatever you want to be in there. Don't be carried away with buying expensive things to put in there. It's really just something to fall out. We'll just do this. Ooh, it's fast. That's probably way overkill for our pinata, but we're going to go with it. So don't feel like you had to fill it that full, but I've got those things and I'm putting them in there. Otherwise, I might eat the candy and then, whew, alright. So we've got that in there, and we're going to take this chance to put our string in while it's easy before we close it up. You can use string. I have yarn here, and because it's yarn, which isn't as strong, I am going to do 4 or maybe even 6 lengths of thickness here. So, and you want to make it long enough. I haven't even decided where I'm going to hang it up outside. So make it long enough that wherever you choose to put it up, it'll work. So several thicknesses of yarn, and we're just going to poke that in. I'm going to use my scissors to help poke it in through the hole. See how I use that to cheat and help poke it in? So now we've got that over here. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other end. Notice my superhero themed candy in here. We're having a Power Rangers birthday party, and the only Power Rangers candy I could find was on Amazon. And I don't know, something about buying food on on eBay. Buying food on eBay just kind of scared me, so decided that Superman and his pals were close enough to the Power Rangers. I bet they'd be buddies. Okay, so I'm going to tie this off on the inside where you don't see the big ugly knot. You can see that's nice and snug. And then make everything flat in here. This is making your own. If anyone has allergies or anything, this is a good way. You can make sure that everything in there is something your child could have. If you have younger kids, you can make sure it's not toys that are too young for or too advanced for them that would be dangerous. So making your own not only can save money, but you can customize it. Like I put my child's name on the art that I designed for her front thing. Alright, so once again, don't make it too sturdy, but you don't want it to fall apart at the first hit either. So it's an art. And one more side, and you'll see there are no seams that have not been taped now at this point. Hardcore paper mache people will probably be rolling their eyes at me, but we're just trying to save some money on our birthday party, so we don't have to be an expert. So see, at this point everything's closed up and you can hold the weight of the candy. Now comes the fun part. If you're doing an image, I'm going to go ahead and put that on here first so I don't forget. And I'm doing glue sticks. You know, real Pinatas generally use a mixture of flour and water, which is basically glue. And that's all well and good, but I don't want to make a big mess. I've only got a little bit of time here, so let's make sure you get all the corners really well. This would be a fun project to do with your kids if you're not surprising them like I am. Smooth it out. I'm going to pull a little because the seam's making it interesting over here. Okay, we've got that on there. And the next step is to cut your tissue paper. So tissue paper comes in pretty much the same size. This is the Dollar Tree tissue paper, so doesn't matter where you get it. I'm only going to use a couple papers, or a couple of colors, can't speak. I'm going to use the blue and the red that I had in the artwork, and I'm going to carry that over in the tissue paper. So I folded this in half, and I'm going to cut it again. Basically, I'm just trying to make the least amount of work for myself. So did that. I'm going to cut it in half again. Chiquina, you didn't measure, and that's not perfectly even. It's going to last 5 minutes at your party. Get over it. Okay, I'm going to cut one more time. And as you can see, this is saving a lot of work to make folds. Now the next thing you're going to do is add some fringes. So you can see I'm going to cut not quite up to the top because that's where I'm going to be putting the glue. Now, again, you might say, those aren't perfectly spaced. And if you spend enough time with me, you'll see I don't care. I'm not a perfectionist in those types of things. So it's the overall look, and it'll be adorable. So I'm not going to make you watch me cut any more of these. I've done some ahead of time, but you can see when you pull these apart, you might have to cut individual pieces to get it to fit on, but you've done that big chunk of work right from the get-go. Okay, next step, we're going to actually start applying some of these. So you can see this part's kind of tedious. We're just going to keep going in and layering on more and more, and this is where the different colors of tissue paper can really make it interesting. Stuck to me. Like here I am varying the blue with the reds because those are the colors I chose, and I just highly recommend using a glue stick as opposed to the really messy paper or glue stuff with like the flour. It's so messy. Anyway, so you can see I didn't pre-cut any of these pieces. I'm just tearing them, and I'll come back in a bit, but you can see how we're growing here. So we're just continuing layering the colors. You can see it's just a time-consuming thing here, but most piñatas take like multiple days to make, and I'm gonna get this done before the kids get home from school so I can hide it. So just keep going. You'll do the same thing on the sides, and I'll show you when we're done. So over an hour later, you have your piñata, but remember you saved 30 bucks, and that's what it looks like if you didn't do the image. I added the little image in front, and we'll do one more clip of smashing it to bits at the birthday party. Okay, so the piñata's all done, and we're at the birthday party, and we're gonna see how fun it is to bash it to bits. Are you ready, birthday girl?
I'm gonna win. That's what I think. Okay. That's a factor. It's gonna do.
Stand back.
That'd be awesome.
Stand back.
Oh! Hit the box! Hit the box!
It's a ball.
It's like Excalibur or something.
Way back.
Wow!
Alright, boo.
Alright, hit it hard, buddy. Swing it. Swing it back. Swing it back.
My money's on flip.
Hey, wait for
Okay.
it. Go for the picture.
Mental note.
Paul Christopher Fleming over there. Oh my gosh.
Oh, here,
Oh, oh.
here it goes. Yes.
One more. Come on, real hard.
Wow! Oh! Whoa! Yeah!
Get the candy.
Yeah, there's lots of non-candy